Let's talk motive. If you've been around for a while, you know I talk about motive, means, and opportunity all the time. They are the three elements you'll need to solve any kind of crime mystery. But I feel like motive is the one that people get really hung up on. Motive is what tells your story. You want the why behind the murder. It makes for a more satisfying ending. But here's the thing about true crime. It's not always neatly packaged and tied up with a bow. Ever hear the saying, truth is stranger than fiction? That's because in fiction, you're planning it out. It has to make sense. You gotta be able to wrap it up nicely in the end. But sometimes in reality, things just don't make sense like that. People have killed other people for some of the strangest reasons. So we decided to start making our murder mysteries a little bit more challenging when it comes to motive, because motive is usually the easiest way to solve a murder mystery. Whoever has the most to gain from another person's death is probably your killer. And it's satisfying. We love it when that why is strong enough to warrant the behavior. But what about when it's not? Somebody could lose their temper and push someone down the stairs. It's not planned out. They didn't have a strong motive, and that motive only became apparent immediately before the death. You've got the accidental murder that would go as manslaughter if they didn't try to cover it up. And then there's those people or characters that just have nothing to lose. They might not have intended to kill somebody, but it was out and they're not worried about the consequences because they've got nothing to lose. So in these cases, when you don't have a really strong motive or the motive isn't apparent right away, that's when you really got to look at the means and the opportunity. That's difficult when the victim hasn't revealed themselves yet. So then you're just looking for people's secrets and maybe past history of violence or other indicators that might point you in the direction of somebody having the capability of committing murder. Once the victim's been revealed, then you're going to want to make a timeline of who last saw this person alive and where everybody was from that point on. Determine if you can find out who had their hands on the weapon, and then interrogate everybody and find out whose story doesn't add up, because there's only going to be one person whose story doesn't add up. That is because they are covering their own butts. Hope this added to your murder mystery solving skills, and happy sleuthing.